Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of the Nerd Podcast. Hey Michael, how's it going?
Oh, you know it's going.
Oh yeah. It's a beautiful hat you got on there, bud. Is that the one the dog chewed on over Christmas?
No, it's a different Blue Jays hat. It's one of
Hi.
my 6 Blue Jays hats.
Fair
Got
enough.
this one, for one Indy 8, winter Blue Jays one, like Blue Jays ball cap winter. It's got like fur on top. The Blue Jays winter hat I got, the red one, and then the baby blue one.
Baby blue, love it. Yeah, I've been loving that toque that the missus got for me. It's so nice and warm.
Bro, I like that one better than I like mine.
I think yours was cheaper after though.
It was like $20. I think that one was probably around the same.
I don't know. Anyway, gotta love the Jays caps. I liked your tweet earlier, your prediction for this coming season, the Buck Wild. What was it? Vladdy hits 60 homers and leads the Jays to the World Series.
Appearance, not win. Well, hey, it's for a guy I watch on YouTube called Giraffe Nuck Mark. I'll shout him out. That like nobody really listens to this yet, but hey, shout out the good guys. Been watching him for years. He makes great content, and he's like, put your hot takes on Twitter, and you might be featured in the next episode. And I've been on one of his episodes already.
Have you? What were you featured for that one?
I forget what the take I had was, but I think he agreed with it.
Interesting.
I'll see if I can find it, and then I'll send it to you tonight.
Did you read my retweet there?
I don't know. He hasn't uploaded a video yet. He'll probably do it tonight.
No, did you read what I tweeted at you after?
Yes, I don't think that's a hot take at all, but it's a good prediction because they did it this year.
That was more so what it was a commentary on your tweet more so than a hot take. So I predicted that we'd have 4+ Jays with 30+ homers to their name in 2022.
I like that take.
I think is very realistic because there's no way Vladdy hits less than 30 unless he turns around and goes back to the last year's form at the very worst. And then Bo definitely has it in him. They still got Teo and Springer. They got Springer. And then there's still some other young players.
Gurriel could.
Gurriel might have 30 grand slams in a season.
Man hit half the Blue Jays grand slams this year. Oh yeah, so Shay and I are nerds, but we really like baseball.
Yeah, which is funny because I don't think either of us played it. I don't think either of us played it growing up.
I play baseball video game.
Ah, the show.
But, yes, Shay and I will probably have maybe we will have a Blue Jays / baseball centered episode today. But today is not that day because Shay, what is today?
Today is Marvel in 2021. So we're going to talk about all the different releases.
Both more specifically, MCU in 2021. We won't be discussing comics or video games or anything.
Yeah, I am not deep enough into the comics world. I have read this scattered comic. You can barely speak, my buddy. I don't know how you're featured in a podcast.
My speaking's been pretty good so far, I think. I don't think I've
No, you're doing good, buddy.
Shockingly.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're just going to be talking about the MCU. So, Michael, you want to run us through the list there? Because you are the one who's got it written down. I don't have my shit together.
One sec. Google is acting up. There we go. I found it. So we're going to go in order from what I remember. This is the order stuff came out in. So we had WandaVision, kind of going from January to March-ish.
Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier going from March to May-ish. Loki going from May-ish to July, which is when Black Widow was finally released after like 2 years.
I think more, possibly.
And then What If started in the summer, if I'm not mistaken. And then Shang-Chi came out. And then it was a couple of months break till Eternals. Hawkeye started shortly after that movie came out. And then Spider-Man came out in the middle of Hawkeye.
Did it?
I think there was like 1 or 2 episodes after Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it released the same week as the last episode of Hawkeye.
When there's only 6 episodes in a series, if there was 2 episodes released after it came out,
you make a good point.
Halfway through. Math. Get owned.
Yeah, that expression said math more than math, but we're going to move on.
You're not wrong.
So we're going to go through, give a little commentary on each of the bits, and kind of look at Marvel overall through the year.
So I will say, I've only seen these shows since they came out. I haven't seen WandaVision since it ended. Falcon, no. Loki, no. What if no Shang-Chi? I've seen like 3 times because I really like that movie, which we'll get into. Eternals I saw once. Spider-Man I saw twice, and that was recent. Hawkeye, I forget half of it already. But we'll do what we do best and make shit up as we go along.
Yeah, that's what we're experts at. That's, you know, that's what we do. So, WandaVision, what are your thoughts? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was weird as fuck? What's the scoop?
I liked it a lot, but it's, in my opinion, I think it was the weakest of the shows. I feel like it should have gone on longer because of the story they're trying to tell.
I disagree. I don't think it's the weakest. But we'll get into which one I think is the weakest, which release I think is the weakest anyway. We go on here.
In terms of specifically the shows, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I thought it was all right. Part of my thing is I don't love the whole Wanda and Vision pairing. I don't think there's been enough time or energy put into that. It's just like, oh hey, we're together. Oh
It's
hey,
a
he's dead and I'm grieving.
strictly in universe thing. We as the viewers never really saw anything develop between them.
Yeah, it's just like they're friends in Civil War, and then oh hey, in Infinity War they're together and they're secretly lovers, running off to places in is it Scotland together, in the UK together.
Scotland,
Anyway,
sure. Scotland and the UK.
we're gonna go with it. And then like he's dead 2 days later. So
And then she brings his dead body back.
yeah, that's a whole weird thing. Yeah. I don't know. I thought Darcy and Wu were a funny pairing.
I'd say Monica's in that range too. That's part of a trio because it was kind of 3 of them.
Yes.
But Darcy and Wu
I didn't find her as funny, but
no, but Darcy and Wu were definitely the just randomly really funny pairing from like 8 years apart in the MCU.
yeah, it was crazy. I think Wu is partially getting moved into kind of the Coulson role as far as like just being a government guy who keeps showing up all the time.
Yeah. You know who else has been in everything this year except for Black Widow? Like movie wise? Wong.
Yeah.
He's
Wong
just
just
there,
like can't stop dealing with the bullshit.
which is funny.
Where is he in WandaVision?
I meant, sorry, I was speaking strictly movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it's a buck wild thing, and it was a buck wild series premise to start the MCU Disney Plus series off with.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was a very, very strange choice of topic. If I was, well, I'm not because I'm not loaded, or maybe that's the other way around. If I was somebody who's picking the order to do stuff at Marvel, I would probably put Falcon and Winter Soldier first and follow it up with Loki. Because Falcon and Winter Soldier, two pretty popular characters, and it's a pretty like traditional story to tell. And Loki, well, everyone drools over Tom Hiddleston, and really, what else do you need to get people to turn on their TVs?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they started off with WandaVision correctly from a business standpoint because it was the one that they knew what people would like, but they knew the other two were what were really gonna draw the people in.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. That's just personal opinion. But it was all right. Like, I don't have any complaints about it. I've only seen it once. It's just been a busy year. I only watched it once through. I think that's true of all of Marvel's 2021 stuff for me. But yeah, it was solid. That's all I really have to say on that one.
Yeah, okay. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Go ahead with it.
I've really enjoyed that one actually. I like both those characters, and I think they're a really funny pairing. Like Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie are just really funny and share a stage really well together.
They do. I like that one a lot. Not my favorite though.
I know.
It's high up there.
Yeah. Also, it's just you can't complain about a classic buddy cop type thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just so random. Like one of my favorite lines is you ever read The Hobbit? Yes. I read The Hobbit when it first came out in 1932. Or whenever it came out. It's like
Yeah, that was hilarious. Just the random shit. And then I forgot about that whole wizards tangent.
Yeah, it's like we gotta fight wizards, androids,
or
or
aliens.
aliens.
And it was none of them. It was super soldiers.
Aliens. Exactly.
Oh yeah, totally. Because the government's trying to hide those from us, so they just put them inside human hosts to
That's
become
a
super
topic for
soldiers.
another time.
It's okay. The FBI is going to come through our doors, even though we live in Canada. Just
It's
because we
okay. They have
suggested it.
jurisdiction everywhere as long as the government gives them permission.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was pretty good. There were some parts that were very, very brutal, like friggin'
Like the Fjord
John, what's his fucking last name?
just
Yeah,
fucking
chopping
eviscerates.
buddies. Spoiler alert! The guy who replaces Steve Rogers as Captain America chops someone's head off with a shield, like 10 days into having the job.
Hey, make an impact at your new job, man. That's what I do. Of course, I don't decapitate people.
I think that was a very interesting commentary on government overstepping and manipulation, especially following up on those January 6th riots and all the Trump stuff down in the States, which is a deep, deep hole to dive down on in a nerd podcast. But I thought it was interesting timing.
Skate right over it. But yes, I agree.
Oh.
Just interesting. I like that show a lot. But like I said, it's not my favorite. But you said it was yours?
Probably. Hawkeye was really good too. But I think I like the dynamic duo. I really enjoyed that. So
you wrote down on Loki, it had a weird ending and a weird premise. Elaborate on the premise.
Just the whole premise of like, this is all going to be spoilers because there's no way to avoid it with this.
Yeah.
Like falling in love with an alternate version of yourself, and like, it was just very strange, the whole thing. And it was a very, very deep hole to dive down on for casual viewers, because the whole time travel and the way that works, I really think that's a really complicated topic because physicists can't figure out how time actually works.
So,
and they're like, we're making this up for a movie.
The way you said that, Loki falling in love with himself, I don't know if it was really love, or Loki never really had friends growing up, right? In his current form. So I feel like just Sylvie, is it?
Yeah.
Showing him back like compassion and like friendship and trust might have confused poor little Loki. And like what he felt wasn't actually love.
I don't have a whole lot of pity for Loki, because
I am saying Loki is a simp, in case that's not obvious. Like, he's just a simp and he doesn't know what love actually is.
Yeah, maybe infatuation is a better word, but it's still weird being infatuated with a.
I thought about a comparison, but I'm not going to say it. Tell you after.
Yeah. Thanks for that personal attack, Michael, because I know exactly where you're going with that.
It's nothing about you.
Oh, okay. I don't know
what you're talking about.
Michael and I just know way too much about each other's personal lives.
I don't know what you're talking about. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, that's not for public consumption.
But Loki, I really like that one. That one's probably my favorite. One of my favorites.
But you have to admit, it's fucking weird, and I don't think that a lot of people are going to be able to engage with the whole implications of it. It's just like, oh yeah, time travel's real. Yes. Multiverse is real. Yes. I think that was the whole point of that show.
Yes. So one thing I will say, this is getting ahead of it. Those fractures at the end of Loki, like when it was all splitting apart, looked a hell of a lot like the fractures in the sky from No Way Home.
Yeah. There's kind of two layers to that one. First off, they could have been the same. Like, the multiverse could just be very unstable because of the various events. Like, it's possible that spell in No Way Home wouldn't have done what it did if Loki and Sylvie hadn't fucked up the multiverse. And then that's what allowed everything to go to shit. Or it's also possible that it's just what a multiverse fucking shit up looks like. Fracture, thank you.
Also, this is getting really deep now. This is diverging, but keeping it all similar, as we always try to do. WandaVision, people thought that the end of that kind of lined up with Loki. But based on what I just said about No Way Home possibly lining up with the end of Loki, I think both possibly could, and I know everyone's going to be like, those are two separate times, but they're at the end of like known reality and at the end of Loki. So I think everything is still happening simultaneously because of where they are. So I think it all technically could be shattering at the same time.
Yeah, because don't they kind of imply that where they're hanging out with Buddy is outside of normal time?
Yeah, that's why the TVA
Yeah.
can't get there traditionally
Cool. Yeah.
because it's
That's
just
just,
kind of like fucked up.
it's really, really complicated. And some of these projects are getting like way out there with like complicated lore and implications and stuff,
Of
which is
course,
super
that's just
cool.
what I just said is obviously just crazy talk, and it's definitely not based in anything. It's just my crazy little fan theory,
Yeah.
but it makes sense, kind of.
Yeah, but Loki was all right. I like Mobius.
Yeah, Owen Wilson was a great addition to the MCU.
Owen Wilson, yeah, that was just excellent. Yeah, I don't know what else can really be said about that one. Kang the Conqueror, here we come.
He's in Ant-Man 3, Quantumania.
I did
That's
hear
where he'll
about
be.
that.
He's confirmed for that.
That should be interesting.
Yeah.
So that wraps up kind of that first wave of shit, and then we get into our first movie, which is of course Black Widow.
See, I did not like that movie. I'll tell you why. Because we know she's dead. Sorry, spoiler alert. She's dead, and it's a prequel, so we know she's gonna live, and like, I don't like it's the same reason I didn't like Black Panther. Like, but I like Black Panther a lot more because it's actually a good movie. We knew he was gonna live in that because he had been in the trailer for Infinity War. Like, we know there's no consequences to anything she does because we know she's gonna live. We know she's gonna be in Infinity War. We know she makes it to Endgame. So where is no tension?
Yeah. I think that's my biggest issue is they had to tie down the scope of whatever was going on because the implications of whatever happened couldn't fuck with Infinity War. She still had to be on the run. She still had to be a normal human. She still had to be XYZ. And yeah, there were the implications that come up in Hawkeye and later on, I'm sure. But is that earth-shattering as like the end of a movie, her murdering someone and then that throwing everything to chaos? No.
Yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, for one, they should have made a Black Widow movie fucking 8 years ago, realistically.
Yeah, it should have been part of phase 2 or early phase 3.
It should have come out before Civil War. If they want to show a fucking movie based before Civil War that deals with a character like that in a movie like that, they have to do it before other events, or else we just are like, oh, well, what the fuck happened to her?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's a solid movie. I think it would
It's
have
not
been
bad by any means, but it's just bad because of when it came out in real life and in terms of the MCU history.
I think it would have benefited from having Hawkeye in it because so much of it is dealing with the implications of what she and Hawkeye did. But
Yeah,
that is what it is. Like, he's under house arrest, so
exactly.
oh well.
Yeah, exactly. But I not a bad movie, not a good movie by any means. It's definitely like in the lower tier of my list of MCU movies, which we'll get into another time because that's an episode in itself.
Yeah, if not two.
2 minutes, 27 episodes or 27 movies. Like, that's at least an hour right there.
Yeah, that's true. So that kind of wraps up Black Widow. I thought the like floating fortress thing was kind of cool.
Yes, that was cool. Kind of a
But of
cheap
course, then they crash it.
Russian knockoff of a helicarrier.
Yeah, exactly. Then,
Like
of course,
a lot of the stuff they tried
Cool.
with, like with the Crimson Dynamo. That's just knockoff Captain America.
True.
Next up was What If, based on my recollection. I'm pretty sure it started in the summer, right?
Right. I think you're right. Because I think it was going on in September. Because I was watching it in the hospital when I smashed my foot.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that
because
was
I don't
fun.
listen to you.
I know. What are your thoughts on that? I enjoyed it.
Loved What If. It's up there with Loki for my favorite.
I think half the point of What If was making the implications of a multiverse make a lot more sense, which I think it achieved beautifully.
Honestly, like, best part about it, it just showed what could have happened if something had gone wrong or just different in countless movies. And we got to see our favorite heroes die with no consequences is the big thing, because we knew it was just confined to an episode. Like, we got to see Captain America die, we got to see Ant-Man die, we got to see Wasp die, we got to see Wanda die, all at no cost to the greater MCU.
Yeah, all that what if really is just the butterfly effect, right?
Yeah.
So
like, it had the zombies episode, which was great. It had Doctor Strange Supreme.
Yeah, which is
We'll
something
get
we're
into
gonna
it
have
in a
to
bit.
discuss in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. It had Ultron going nuts.
Yeah, that was sick.
A bunch of great episodes. Like, even the simpler ones, like when Hank Pym was murdering all the Avengers, that was still like gripping.
Don't remember that one.
It was the one where like Iron Man got murdered, and then Hawkeye shot Thor by mistake.
Right. And Black
And
Widow
then-
ends up catching him, right?
No, Black Widow dies, I think. I don't know. I forget how it ended, but like all the Avengers died because Hank Pym decided, you know what, I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah, because Hope in that universe, Hope died, right? She died working for Shield. Okay, yeah, now I'm with you. No, it was good, and yeah,
really good animation in it too.
And then Killmonger gets trapped in pocket dimension, right?
Yeah, but like with What If, like that was a show that a lot of people were skeptical about because they're like, oh, an animated Marvel thing, it might not be good. And then they just delivered week after week great episodes that just kind of broke everybody.
Yeah, I think that's a really good avenue to go further, because when you kind of like look at comparing the scope of the universe from the MCU to the wider comics, like there is so much material there that it would cost way too much to actually shoot something. But if you do something like a Clone Wars style Marvel series,
like it literally has not endless, but it has so much more opportunity for shows, because it's like make a hour long What If episode on anything in the MCU, really.
Yeah, I think the other cool thing is it allows you to introduce new characters, and then if they're well received, you can introduce them to the wider MCU, and if not, they're gone at the end of the season or whatever.
I mean, they're already doing a zombies spin-off in the MCU because of that one episode, because it was just loved. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know if it's going to be an animated show or if it's going to be a live action movie. That'd be sick.
That would be really cool. So that was What If. That was pretty sick. And then Eternals came out next.
Nope, Shang-Chi.
Did it really?
Yep. Came out in September.
Yeah, it must have been.
Because Ryan and I moved into our new place, and then we went to see it like a week later.
Right. Sorry, I'm all messed up because I've watched everything on Disney Plus except for No Way Home. That's the only one I saw in theaters.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The theaters were shut down here longer than they were in Ontario.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We don't care.
Yeah, I know. You guys just want to bathe in COVID.
I shower with every night.
Wonderful. Yeah, so you really liked Shang-Chi. I thought it was all right.
It was just like so different. Like, I just really liked it. Like, it's tough to describe. The music was great. The cinematography was amazing. The fight scenes were great. The acting was great. I like. It might go down in my list over time, but like, it's definitely top like 10 for me. I have it at number 5. That's probably too high.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid movie, but my honest God, my problem with it isn't so much a problem with it specifically, so much as an overall problem we've had this year, which is just power scaling in the MCU, because that is becoming a major thing that they're going to have to start dealing with. And they started making commentary on it years and years ago in Ultron, and it's usually Hawkeye who makes these comments. But he makes another comment in Hawkeye, and he's like, yeah, my favorite weapon is a couple sticks and some string.
Yeah, like, that's literally it. Like, he's fighting alongside literal gods.
Yeah.
At this point. Like, multiple of them, essentially.
Yeah, so it's like, and then you compare that to, like, those rings are fucking crazy powerful, and like a dragon and all kinds of monsters. Like, the power scaling does not make any sense, which it doesn't in the comics either, which they deal with in various ways. But I don't know. It was also I didn't know how I felt about the pace. It was like, oh yeah, really slow start, and then Buddy whips out a knife arm in the middle of the first act.
I don't know. I just like it. But you
Yeah.
had one issue with it, which I think is stupid. Would you like to repeat it?
Oh, yeah. Where the fuck was the dragon when they were fighting Thanos? Like that would have like just swallowed Thanos. Problem solved.
But I'm pointing this out to him separately. When they go to Talo, or what the fuck it's called, I'm pretty sure they mention that it's in its own like universe. It's not the same reality as the MCU Earth. So
Yeah,
they probably didn't even know a snap happened. Plus, time there's literally nothing. It's
I
implied.
yeah, I think part of it is they just didn't state the rules clearly enough for a stoned Shay to understand. There's the honest God truth. No, some of the stuff, like some of the mystical stuff in the MCU so far, is just like, yeah, that's just the way it is. Which is probably the real explanation. They're just like, we want to introduce a new character, we're gonna introduce it.
Literally, like I don't have an issue with it because I mean,
I don't know either.
whatever.
It's just like
They've
a
done it
funny
before in the
thought.
MCU.
Yeah, and like the Eternals, they're just like, yeah, we were told not to.
Literally, we were told not to interfere by the Celestials.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see more of them too.
Oh, for sure. We'll get into that in a minute as
Yeah.
well.
No, but those rings were just kind of like they were just kind of weird things. Now, I don't know anything about the source material for this one.
Neither do I.
Um, but like Buddy was using them as whips, he was using them as like
Like
the thing that Crossbones had for punching stuff. He was using them
like a wrecking ball type thing.
Yeah, it was bonkers, some of the stuff. So I'm interested to see how that comes out further.
Yeah, for sure. And the 10 Rings at the end credit scene, it says they're going to return, which leads me to believe there's going to be a 10 Rings MCU show, like Disney Plus show.
Wasn't that confirmed?
Sure. Probably at this point. Let's be real. There's probably a million Disney projects confirmed.
True. Why don't you give me your thoughts on Hawkeye while I look up future projects?
No, I'll give you my thoughts on Eternals.
That's
what's coming
good.
next.
Good point. I'm just stupid.
So Eternals, Shay and I both liked Eternals. I don't think it was bad as the reviews said it was. And I don't understand why it was so badly received by critics.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I thought it was a solid movie, and it was nice that it took a step away from the wider MCU, right? Because like you don't have all these other characters popping in, which I think is nice for introducing someone. They do reference other stuff, like they reference the Avengers, they reference Thanos, but it's not like shoved up your nose. Have I lost you, Michael?
No, sir. I'm just looking at the Eternals reviews.
Anything interesting?
No, because they won't load. I
Oh,
get
good.
like people liked it, but the reviews didn't.
Yeah, I liked
Like
the characters. I really liked Sprite.
like the way my sister and I had this discussion actually with your brother when we were with her in Toronto before we flew out.
What a bunch there.
I wanted to die. Yes, you are correct.
All right,
Don't
what's
laugh.
the scoop?
So my sister and I mainly were talking, and we think it should have been split into two movies because it was pretty long already. They could have just filmed a bit more and then split it into two movies. One to kind of better explain who the fuck they are and get it to modern day, and then have a modern day story take over. Because the time jumping was really fucking confusing at times.
See, I'm torn on that because really there wasn't any interest in the old story except to set up the situation they were in. I think
guess
they
so.
could have just been more efficient with how they explain their past.
I don't think it was too long at all. Like I think it was too short is the thing. Because they didn't have a lot of time to explain a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think they could have compressed it by, which is a controversial thing. They could have, rather than showing, they could have just told us, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we fought the deviants until they were all dead, and then we split ways because we were fighting. Bang,
Yeah.
done. There's 45 minutes taken off the movie."
For sure, for sure. Like, didn't dislike it. Not my favorite by any means. Like I have it pretty mid-low tier movie for me. You had
Yeah.
it around the same spot,
Yeah.
but like I don't get to all the hate for it. Like by no means is it a bad movie, especially compared to some other movies, not just necessarily Marvel movies that have come out recently that are
Yeah,
just
no,
complete trash and reviews are like, oh, it's so good.
yeah, no. I think it's a solid movie, and I think it fits nicely into the MCU.
Yeah,
It's not janky, it's not forced. It's like, oh yeah, cool.
sets up some good stuff with
Yeah, for sure. Black Knight and Star Fox and
Thanos, Eros.
yeah, that's Star Fox, right? That's the other name he was using.
Yeah,
And just the Celestials.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of power they still have because you remember, I think the first place you see them is in Guardians 1
A
because
ravaging planet. Yeah,
one has the Power Stone, right? So it'll be I'd
correct.
like to know how the Power Stone got taken away from a Celestial or how it just stopped being in their hands.
For
Because
sure, for sure.
obviously they're incredibly powerful and can wield Infinity Stones seemingly without any issue. So how the fuck did little puny mortals get a hold of them?
Exactly. But yeah, no, that's for future movies to tell us.
Yeah, apparently.
And
Uh,
a sweet segue into Hawkeye, because I know you're really big on Hawkeye. I didn't like it as much as you, but I liked it still.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. I like the whole like older hero. Also, I enjoy the Hawkeye character, and he's just like constantly pulling Kate out of getting herself killed.
Yeah, for sure. I liked it.
I do think they should have killed Jack, if only for his creepy mustache. Her
Yes.
stepdad. He was just
He was such like a
anyway.
weird character.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he is like based on a villain, like a minor villain from the comics, like literally called Swordsman. But they seem to shy away from actually committing to that. So I don't know if they're going to try and make him like an anti-hero in the future or what.
They could, but bigger news obviously in that series, Kingpin is
Love that.
back. Yeah.
Which also segues into No Way Home. I absolutely love the Daredevil series, and Fisk was awesome in that. Vincent, I can't pronounce
Whatever his last name was.
Onofrio, D'Onofrio.
Just
Anyway,
stutter through a little line and pretend you got it right.
yeah, I'm just gonna keep moving here. I really enjoyed his role. Like he enjoys playing the character, and it comes out
Yeah,
in
you
his
can tell.
performance. Also, he just smacks Kate around, which I
I
think she needed.
Yeah, like it was good. But then she used her fancy dancy arrows to just blow him the fuck up.
Using the little like flick trick. I liked her and Yelena too. I thought that was a
That was
funny
a
contrast
good combination. It sets up the next Hawkeye and Black Widow having the same kind of
dynamic.
dynamic as the previous
Yeah. So
iterations. But technically Hawkeye is the most recent MCU thing because it definitely ends after the end of No Way Home.
yes, very close together, but it
Very
does.
close together, but definitely after because it's definitely not Christmas by the time No Way Home. I think it's still like beginning-ish of December.
I don't know when they get college acceptances in the States, but it must be in the
I mean, there's
fall
fucking
there.
snow on the ground, so
Well, like they start school and then there's all the nonsense going on and then all the main events happen and then it's Christmas at the very end,
who
right?
knows? Maybe the global warming is really bad in the MCU and they just have snow year round.
Global warming.
Yes,
Do you mean climate change? Is that what you're
yeah,
trying to say?
yes,
Okay.
that is what I
Uh,
meant. But who knows? But it's definitely after.
yes.
And I don't know if anybody has said this, but you could make an argument that why don't we hear anything about Spider-Man destroying the Statue of Liberty in Hawkeye? And it's like that's probably old news in that universe at that point. Think about it, like they lived through a snap and everything. They don't care about Spider-Man destroying the Statue of Liberty.
I think they had an offhanded comment about the new Statue of Liberty in
They
the last
did
episode of Hawkeye.
because everyone's like, "Well, what the no?" They mentioned it in like the third episode, and everyone's like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And then
Yeah.
Spider-Man came out, and it was like, "Oh, that's what that means."
Yeah. No,
But
that
like,
was
that's gonna be old news to them at that point, even if it's just a couple weeks later. They don't give a fuck. Spider-Man destroyed a national monument. Oh, piff piff.
Nobody died. Who the fuck cares?
Exactly. They don't care. Like that's the scope of the MCU in universe at that point.
Oh yeah. The nanotech controlling Doc Ock's suit. Hilarious. Hilarious. I really liked what they did with Aunt May's character, and it was really controversial because people were like, "Why didn't you have Uncle Ben? Why did you just merge the characters? Like they just saw her as the hot aunt, and now she's got a conscience." But she was always supporting Peter and trying to get him to do good in the community.
She was literally what Ben was in the other ones.
Yeah, I don't remember much of the other series. I think I saw the second of Andrew Garfield's and the third of Tobey Maguire's. I don't remember the other ones. I know I have seen them, but I don't remember much at all. But
Yeah,
anyway, even more spoilers. It was fucking sick seeing them go on screen, and the introduction was beautiful. It's like, hey, do the sling ring thing. Oh fuck, that's the wrong Peter.
They're
Do it
like
again.
such a goofy ass way to bring him in, but
Fuck, that's the other
realistically, the MCU is not going to do it any other way. They're going to do it in some slapsticky way, as is their norm, but
And yet
also like a dramatic way. Yeah.
So the real question is, they only tried that twice, and they didn't get the right Peter. How many Peters were fucking running around that they didn't realize?
Probably a couple more.
Yeah.
Do you think Spider-Ham was there?
No, because that's Peter Porker, not Peter Parker.
Oh, fuck, you're right. God damn it.
Which is the same reason Miles Morales, they couldn't have the Black Spider-Man.
No, that'd be stupid if they brought him in that way. But
I think they could have phrased it differently. They could have been like, anyone who knows who Spider-Man is. I think you could have phrased it differently, but I think then you're just tying yourself up.
That's the way the spell was said. That's because that's the way they did at the end. They knew who Spider-Man was.
Yeah.
They didn't know who Peter Parker was necessarily.
Yeah.
They just knew who Spider-Man was.
It was sick though. Like there were just some awesome scenes. All the villains were awesome too.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Yeah. Good movie. Definitely top 5 for me.
Yeah.
And I know where it ranks on yours, and it's somewhere in your top 5.
It is probably currently my favorite MCU movie. It was just, I don't know, like it tugged all the right heartstrings. It was funny. It was awesome action. Yeah.
Also, Doctor Strange was in it, and Doctor Strange is awesome.
I'm not a huge Doctor Strange fan, but the way he trapped him in the mirror dimension was fucking hysterical.
Honestly,
like, pretty shapes and colors.
Anything to see those amazing visuals that the mirror dimension offers.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like, I'll take it any day. But also, the mirror dimension theme is sick. Like, when he gets, like, sucked in. Literally go on and be like, Peter Parker, mirror dimension. And it's just, like, such a sick, like, music cue change coming from someone who likes that kind of music.
Yeah, you're the type of person who just listens to the audio tracks for movies for fun.
Okay, well, see, I can't say I don't because I've been doing that with Lord of the Rings recently.
Oh, I was gonna say you listen to Duel of Fates on repeat.
But like, no, like I'd have a good appreciation for non-lyrical music.
That's fair enough. No, it was just like, I don't know. It was awesome, and I love Tom Holland in that role. I didn't love the other Spider-Man movies, but it wasn't anything to do with the acting. It was just like the movie wasn't my favorite, but that just like it was awesome. They had the right dosage of other MCU characters because I really think that Iron Man was too heavily present in the other two. But Doctor Strange was one. Yeah, but he was still like it was still.
I know what you mean.
It was all in the shadow of Iron Man, whereas this one was actually like, okay, I can finally be Peter Parker, Spider-Man, rather than Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Iron Man sidekick.
Yeah. One thing we did forget to talk about from Hawkeye, the musical scene.
Oh my god. So Michael was out staying with me for Christmas during this. We watched that last episode together. We didn't watch any of the rest together.
No.
And that was the end credit scene. I feel ripped off by that still, but it was still so funny. Like, How much they must have spent thousands upon thousands of dollars to make that. Like, where is the full musical? That should be the next Marvel project. Michael's on the other video screen dying, but I want a uh I don't know what to call it. What is it? Rogers the Musical. I want it on Disney Plus. I want the whole goddamn thing, and people are going to be singing it like they won't shut up about Hamilton, and it's going to be all over TikTok sounds.
So bad, but it's so good at the same time.
You know, it's exactly what would happen in the real world, right?
It
like
is.
It's like "Come From Away," the one about all the Americans who ended up in Gander here during 9/11. Let's make a musical about people's trauma. Like, it's exactly what would happen in the real world.
I was just about to say, I'm surprised there's not one about 9/11 yet, and then you said that.
Oh, did you not know about that? Yeah, that's the thing. Because all the American planes that were coming back from Europe had to land somewhere, and they landed in Canada.
Stop talking.
Okay, so there's our thoughts on Hawkeye and musical.
Anyway,
what was the lyric? It was like,
don't ask me to repeat the lyrics, man. I'll start laughing again. So anyway, but moving off of Hawkeye, Spider-Man, we kind of went over that already. But what do you think? Because the trailer for Doctor Strange is out now.
Yes, and it was tagged on as the end credit scene, which was another ripoff.
Yeah, you don't like that, but that trailer looks sick.
It does. I can't wait to see this version of Strange Supreme. I don't know if it's the same one from What If, or if it's a different one that's very similar.
Who knows?
Still fucking sick.
I'm excited because Sam Raimi's directing, who did the first Spider-Man trilogy. And those are all pretty good movies, except for the third one. But that was a lot of studio intervention. So he's probably going to make this movie really, really well. But he's also like known for like horror stuff too.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the first scary, quote unquote, MCU movie, which is really exciting because it's pretty been, even like the darker moments of Marvel have been light.
Yeah. I think we're going to have our friend Ashley on for that because she is hella excited and she's a big old horror fan. So we'll have to have her on in May when that comes out.
So when we recorded in March.
Well, we have to wait. Yeah, so this is recorded at the same time as episode 2, for everyone's reference on that, because we just had time to record, and we want.
So if there's some weird record-breaking MCU thing that happens between now and February, whatever, that's why we don't talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We can probably whack together an emergency like 10-minute one if we absolutely have to.
No, I don't want to talk to you. We'll be on our scheduled time.
You dick, Michael. Anyway, let's talk. Speaking of the next Doctor Strange, that is super sick. It's super creepy. I'm excited for it, which is strange because I'm not a horror person.
I get the pun.
Moving on. I'm just going to ignore you because I don't even know where the fuck you're going here. You know what I'm more excited for?
God, all my jokes go over your head.
Michael, just because you make shitty jokes does not mean that I have to laugh at them.
You're so mean.
Yeah, but I'm not wrong. It's okay. I do actually think Michael's funny.
Looking.
That too. What I'm really excited for is Thor: Love and Thunder because I fucking loved Ragnarok. I can't wait for a sequel that also includes the Guardians.
It's gonna be good, for sure.
And I'm looking forward to however the fuck they get a second Mjolnir for what's her name, Natalie Portman. Fuck, what on earth is her name?
Padme.
Yes, Padme. Padme Amidala. How the fuck does she become Lady Thor?
Who knows? What else comes out this year?
We really should know what the fuck her name is. First, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is still under serious heat because apparently, what's her face? Shuri, who was supposedly taking over the Black Panther mantle, is like hella anti-vax.
Well, it's not like, that's really slowing down production. She got hurt on the set in September.
Oh yeah, like, there's that. But there's also like public backlash being like, no.
I think that's just like the TV like news media, like in regards to movies, just really amping up. I don't think Disney really has an issue with it overall. Because
I
she's
don't
not as
think Disney
bad
does.
as people are exaggerating.
Yeah, she
But like she
just
got hurt, which is really what slowed it down.
she also backed down on her comments and took them off social media, unlike what's her face from Mandalorian.
Oh god, that's a whole thing.
So like she backed down and got back in line with company policy, but there's still a lot of people who are mad about it. I don't think it's going to change.
I don't care like that she. I don't care that she is anti-vax. Like you have your own opinions, whatever. But you have to keep in line with what company you work for. Like I can't go around saying shit up my job. Why can she?
Yeah, which she seems to have recognized because I don't think she's made any public statements contrary to that. So Wakanda Forever, that should be interesting. I hope we get some of the other characters as well. Oh, I'm so bad with names.
So apparently, I don't know if this is still the plan with Wakanda Forever because of Chadwick Boseman's untimely demise. But originally, apparently, the plan for that was to introduce Atlantis and Namor.
Right, because they used to be at war, right?
Apparently, I don't know if that was ever the case, but I don't know if it was, if it's still the case now. Like, I don't know anything about the new Black Panther movie. Like, overall, they've done a really good job of keeping movies under wraps. Like, Sony hit the bed with security for, what's it called? But, like, to put it bluntly, Multiverse of Madness, all the production stuff on that's been locked up tighter than a nun's cunt.
Well, there's a statement that'll
I've
lead to the end of this.
There's been like 0 leaks on it, basically. There's just theories based off nothing.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't even know they had started filming until they announced they had finished filming.
Yeah, that's true. They do have Martin Freeman coming back in this new one, apparently, which I'm excited for. I love Martin Freeman.
He's so in line with like the Black Panther character movies at this point. I'd be surprised if he wasn't brought back for it.
Yeah. The other thing is the Marvels is coming out. I think that's going to be a TV show.
Yes, it's a Disney show.
I don't know much about that, except I assume
Kamala Khan is, I think,
Rambo.
a Pakistani girl.
I don't know. I just think Rambo, what's her first name from WandaVision?
Oh, Monica
Rambo, whatever it is. I think she's back in that.
Yeah, probably.
That's all I know. I know nothing about the Marvels aspect of the comics. Quantumania is after that, which should be good. I love.
You're looking at a list. Okay, I was like, how does he know all this?
I thought this through and decided to pull it up while we were talking. So Quantumania is next. I'm excited for that.
This year?
Yeah, this is July. Or no, sorry, this is just Phase 4. That's my bad. Black Panther is the last thing releasing in 2022.
So far. They might announce some more shows.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that don't have confirmed release dates.
Apparently Moon Knight is coming out in March. Like with Oscar Isaac. I just saw something that it could be out then. And I was like, that's a bold claim, especially since there's no trailer, no news. But I guess they didn't really do trailers for any of the other shows until like a month or so before release.
No. Also, they don't need to advertise it as much now that they're using their own streaming service, right?
Exactly.
They don't have to drive people.
They can just be like, hey, here, have a TV show.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like Book of Boba Fett pops up at the top of my Disney Plus. New episode every Wednesday. And then I go, hey, cool, click.
I still need to watch episode 2.
And 3.
It's going to be real awkward when this is out in like a month and a half. And I'm like, I still haven't seen episode 2.
Let's get real. The episodes that are going to come out in June, you still won't have seen episode 2.
It's not going to June. Never mind.
The episode's this to come out.
There you go. I'm sure I'll have it by then.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to dive too deep into 2023, but there are like the next Guardians and
the Guardians holiday special
and stuff. The what now?
The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special comes out this year around Christmas. It's like it's a Disney Plus thing, and it's got
that
the
is
Guardians.
Not a real thing.
Yes, it is.
Are you fucking with me?
Yes. No.
Are you sure it's not just all about Life Day?
No, a Guardians holiday special.
I'm pretty sure that joke went over 95% of the people who are listening to this.
It sure did, Mr. Star Wars. Filming will occur in early 22, and it's getting filmed during the production of Guardians 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's literally just like a short. It's for a streaming service, Disney Plus. It's the first television special.
Yeah.
Continuity is continued, and everyone's reprising their roles.
This should be interesting. So, what are you excited for in the future of the MCU? I'm sure we'll touch on this again when we wrap.
Other than the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, everything. I'm excited for everything. Everything has the potential to be good.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. I'm really excited to see the next Captain America, future Spider-Man, future Thor. I think there's a lot that hasn't been done with those characters. So I'm really excited to see that stuff primarily. Not that I'm not excited to see more characters, but I think they're going to kill the longevity of the MCU if they just introduce everyone now in Phase 4 rather than gradually rolling stuff out.
I mean, they already have Phase 5 planned, probably. They probably already have Phase 6 planned.
I would say they probably have, like, a rough sketch, but they're going to have to look at the popularity, right? Like, if they can't sell a single ticket to Fantastic Four because people are like, I'm not going to see another fucking Fantastic Four movie.
That's very unlikely.
It is unlikely, but it is possible.
Also, really, side note, next year's the 15th anniversary of the MCU, which is crazy because it literally feels like just yesterday was the 10th.
What was the first one you saw?
MCU movie?
Yeah. I think the first one I saw was Iron Man 2.
Avengers, I think.
I think it was Iron Man 2 and then Avengers for me.
But I think it was Avengers. Maybe I saw Captain America, but I don't think so.
Would have put us at the right... I might have seen Thor before Avengers too. It would have been the right age, right? We were 12 when Avengers came out, so those early ones we were a bit young to be watching.
I went to see Avengers with my school.
So did I. Because we were going to the same school.
I weren't. No, because I went in grade 9.
I don't think that's right, because that's 2012.
Went with Port Hope High.
There were replays then.
No, I must have gone with Port Hope High. Did we go together? Oh, I just punched my desk.
No, it was one of the school trips. It was that and Hunger Games.
I feel like you're wrong, but I'll allow it.
I don't think so, because where were you going to school in 2012? It wasn't the high school.
Did you know it came out on May 4th?
I used to know that, but I do the math.
No, because we would have been 13. How old was I? What group? I'm doing the math.
We would have been 12 when it came out.
No, we would have been 13.
First half of the year, we would have been 12.
We would have been 12. I thought I went with High. Who the fuck?
No, because I joined.
Then? What teacher put that together? Montag. God, sorry. Right. I as soon as I said it, I was like, I know exactly who did it.
My former teacher was obsessed with Spider-Man.
We were kids. I wonder how he liked it. Let's get him as a guest next episode.
Man, I tried to look him up a while back. I don't think he wasn't at the year after we graduated high school. I'm gonna have to bleep out these names, but that's cool.
Why?
That's true. People don't have a clue what we're talking about. But yeah, so I don't know where the hell he's to, because I did look him up.
Honestly, probably lives in Quebec now.
Probably. I think he had a missus out there, but I won't swear to that. All right, buddy. I think that wraps that up. That's going to be a long recording to go through.
That is. I'm pretty sure we were going for almost an hour.
Yep. All right, buddy. Take care.
Yeah.
Just for those people who might have noticed some little silences there in the tail end of our conversation, I did end up bleeping out a few names of our old school, as well as a few individuals, including my teacher, just for other people's privacy. So if you hear any weird things like that, it's not the recording, it's my editing.